Hello. Hello, family. Let's see. Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Hello. I hope everyone is having a great night. I'll give y'all a few minutes to hop on. It is Sunday night. 12 days of Christmas is not over just yet. We got one more good day left to go. Hope everybody is doing well. And y'all ready to join me tonight for another 12 days of Christmas installment. So if you're on Facebook, just when you show up, just let me know you're here. Sometimes it doesn't tell me you're here and I can't see you. But just type on, say, hi, Dr. Shane. I like to know who's with me. If you're on YouTube, you can do the same. I won't be able to see your comments while I'm live, but when I finish, I will be able to see your comments as well. So I'll give everybody some time to pop on. I know it's Christmas Eve and you are perhaps wrapping presents and doing a whole bunch of other stuff, but I just got just one little thought to share with you tonight, just as we prepare for our holiday weekend. I know it is already upon us because Christmas Eve is here and Christmas is tomorrow. Can you believe it? The year has gone by so fast. This 12 days went by amazingly fast to me. I looked up, I'm like, oh my goodness, we're already on day 11. Day 12 is right around the corner. In less than 24 hours, Christmas will be here. And as a little kid say, Santa Claus will be making his way all the way to Houston, Texas to deliver some presents for those who still believe that there is a Santa Claus. So, but I hope that you guys are having a great night. Hey, Sydney, thanks for joining. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. Looking forward to the rest of the holiday weekend. I definitely am as well. Be able to spend time with family and friends. Perhaps you're already doing that right now. And so many of you may catch this on a replay, perhaps, as opposed to catching it live, because I do know that it is Christmas Eve. And so many of you might be busy doing some of those other things. But we will go ahead and go on with our thought tonight in about a minute. And so I can let you go so you can get on back to your festivities. Hi, Ty. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. So I won't belabor the point too much tonight because I know you probably got some stuff to do, some gifts to wrap, all that good stuff. I know I sure do. So we won't be here very long. But I want to honor all my commitments. Christmas Eve counts, and so will tomorrow night. So I will be back here tomorrow night on Christmas Day because the 12 days is not over until it's over. So, but we'll go ahead and we'll get started. So I am Dr. Shana. I'm here to help you shift from where you are to where you are destined to be. I inspire change, y'all, but I teach transformation. And I am here with the 12 days of Christmas, Dr. Shana style. For those of you who don't know me very well, I am a motivational speaker, an author, a licensed professional counselor, a transformation leader, an advocate, a professor, a trainer. And all that means is I am a servant. I'm here to help you create lives that you can feel amazingly excited about. And it is my job to help shift and move and help you do that very thing to get exactly where you want to go. So I am excited about tonight. You know, Sunday is my most favorite night to have these talks because all the transformation talks on Sundays are going to be Sunday edition. So just get ready. Hope you got your Bible with you because we got some word to talk about this evening on our 12 days of Christmas, day 11. So our topic tonight is just a touch will do. Just a touch will do. Now, these thoughts always come from a good sermon that I've had on Sunday, especially during the day from my minister, R.F. Tucker. And today is no different. Today is no different. So I just want us to think about the topic. Just a touch will do. Think about this. You think about a recipe. Has anybody ever been given a recipe that perhaps it was never even written down, and all you were told was just a touch of this, a dab of this, a pinch of salt, a pinch of this, and all of that'll do. That's plenty. And so there is no measurement for it, but it's just a touch, just a dab, just a little bit of it will do. Now, when you add that touch or that dab to the recipe, to whatever it is you're cooking, it just sets it off, doesn't it? Like even with an outfit, you just a touch of color is all you need. It with your makeup and with your clothes, you can have on all black and a touch of, of red will just set the whole thing off. So just a touch of something actually can transform what it was to something different. Now, I'll talk to you about transformation. Transformation means that I am converted from the space of where I am, and I am now in a different space, never to return to the space I was before. And so just a touch of something can absolutely transform folks from one spot to another spot. If it's a recipe, if it's an outfit, or whatever it might be, decorating, whatever a touch of, it can transform that from one thing to another thing. So when you think about this in biblical sense, today we had a whole sermon. It was entitled The Him in the Hymn, the HIM in the HEM. And it comes from, and Brother Tucker came from Luke chapter 8. And I want to look at verse 43, actually, is where I really want to look at, and actually start there, because so much of this is some good word. And I want us to consider the touch and what a difference the touch made in this woman's life. Now, we all know this story. It's not a new story. The woman who had an issue of blood for 12 years, and she touched the hem of Jesus's garment so she could be healed. Now, here's the thing I want us to look at in verse 43. Now, a woman having a flow of blood for 12 years, who had spent all her livelihood on physicians and could not be healed by any, came from behind, touched the border of his garment, and immediately her flow of blood stopped. Now, here's the thing I want us to be clear about. It says that she spent all of her livelihood on physicians. It means she went to a whole bunch of folk. She was touched by a whole bunch of folk trying to get healed from this issue of blood. And then it says none of them could help her. Not one of them could help her. So, it made me think about, many times I think we may do some of the same things. We may be looking to folks that we can touch, folks we can get close to help heal us, solve our problems, help us, create new things, do all of these big things, as opposed to the one who has the touch that can fix it all. When you think about this holiday season, sometimes we look to other people to make us feel better because of, it's holidays and I just want to feel better because maybe I'm feeling down. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. We look into the wrong set of people to fix any of our problems, first of all. So we got to consider the source of the touch that we're looking for. Now, if you think about in this passage, it says that she went, because the physicians could not heal her. So she went to Jesus and touched the hem of his garment. Now, let me keep reading, because this is where it gets really good. And he said, "Who touched me?" And you get on down a little bit further, and it says, "Somebody touched me, for I perceive power," or in another version, it says, "virtue going out of me." He said, "I perceive power of virtue going out of me." Now, what does that mean, family? What it means to me is, if you connect to Jesus, if you touch him, then he can release power that then is healing for you. Do you see that? All she did was touch him. Now, she went to all these physicians to get healed, and not one of them could help her. But when she touched Jesus' garment, his power left him. He felt it leave him. His virtue, his power left him, and she was instantly healed. I think that's pretty powerful, actually, because it only took one simple touch to do that, to heal her. And I'm wondering for you, if we think about the touch of Jesus, what does that look like for you? What does it look like for you if you were to connect to Jesus and just touch the hem of his garment, just to touch him? Hey, Yolanda, thanks for joining. What would that look like for you? Is that reading his word on a daily basis? Is that praying? Is that attending worship service on Sundays or Wednesdays or whatever your congregation meets? What does that look like for you? Now, I want this to be a conversation, family. So if you're here with me, I'm always asking for some feedback. Let's think about that. What would it look like for you to touch his garment, just to receive the healing power that can come just from that touch? I think it's pretty amazing. And here's the second piece of that I want to wonder. How do you know when his virtue has left him and has now entered you? How do you know when the power that he can yield to you has now been given to you? How do you know that? Now, in this woman's case, she knew the power had been yielded simply because her issue of blood had ceased. It was gone. Now, if you ever had a problem in your life, and I imagine everybody on this line, anyone listening to this message, we've all had a set of problems. They all may look different, come in different shapes, sizes, and forms, but a problem is a problem is a problem. And if your problem disappears, or your problem is corrected, then perhaps that's his power being shown up in your life, that the power has now been transferred to you. The virtue is now yours. But here's the thing. If you never see that, If you never see the power that he has that shows up in your life, perhaps you have not touched him appropriately or correctly. Perhaps you haven't. I'm wondering for you when you think about this new year in 2018 and walking into 2018 excited about a new year, you cannot go into it without him at all. And you can't go into it without some necessary purposeful plan on how you're going to stay connected and touch him on a regular basis. See, the word here says that a touch will do. That's all it was. It wasn't that she sat up and held a long conversation. She just touched him. In fact, he didn't even see her when she did it, but she did, which means you can pray in your closet in the dark, which means that you can pray in your car on the way to work, which means you can read the word first thing in the morning before the lights come on. You understand what I mean? You can do things that no one else sees, and you can still be touching Jesus, that you can then receive the power that he has, that he can yield to us to heal all of our issues. Now, the Bible goes on and it says, let me see, let me drop down to verse 50. He talks about a whole nother set of folks. Now, this is a family that says that their daughter had died. And they said, oh, she's dead. She's dead. And he says, oh, all you need to do, don't be afraid. Just believe. This is in verse 50. And she will be made well. Just believe. It talks about the fact that faith was sufficient in this particular scenario. When we have the faith that we have to believe that if we touch him, if we do the things that he says for us to do, if we read his word, if we pray to him, if we go to him, if we seek his face, if we ask of his guidance of what he would have us to do, we can then be in receipt of some amazing, amazing opportunities that we cannot get without belief and faith. It's right here in the word. Only believe and she will be made well. And it says he went into their home and they were all like crying. She's dead. She's dead. He says she's not dead. She's asleep. Can y'all imagine that? This woman is dead. There's someone that we're mourning over. We crying over. They just passed away. And he says she is not dead. She's asleep. They looked at him like, no, she dead. I know she did because I just saw that she was not alive. He said she's asleep. He went in there. He told the girl, get up. Go get something to eat. Hello. If you can't believe the kind of power that can come from someone is deceased, and this is just one. Y'all know he has many, many miracles that he has performed. This is just one set of them. If we don't have the kind of faith that we can stand on and stand behind, that knows that he does exactly what he says he does. He is who he says he is. He can't be anybody else. The same God, the same Jesus who rose this baby off her deathbed, told her to get up and go eat, is the very same one that sits on the throne today that can help us in every problem area that we have. I told you last night, you got to be in a position to tell the truth. The lies have got to stop. You got to be honest about what your issues are. And here's the second piece to that. You see, these are building blocks. Before you're able to receive the touch, be able to get the healing power that Jesus has to offer, you got to identify what your problem is in the first place. What is your issue that you need to touch him for him to heal you from? What is your problem that you have been dealing with for years all by yourself, thinking that you are sufficient alone, but you have not been able to create a solution that will move you in any space or place that feels half as good as where you've been? What have you been dealing with all by yourself that you don't have to deal with alone? All you have to do is go touch, because a touch will do. He says that. Y'all talk back to me. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Have you ever had a moment? I asked the question earlier. How do you know when his power has been released? How do you know when the virtue has released from him has then been put into you to help heal you and to deal with your own problems? Have you ever had a moment when you sat and you felt like something just came all over you? Have you ever had that? Have you ever had a moment something came all over you and you were like, what was that? I have had that so many times. Usually it's attached to a moment when I was reading his word and something was revealed in the word that just, he spoke all to me. He just came all over me. Ty says, I believe praying through faith, trusting him, studying his word is what it looks like. The power is in the sense of peace, whether you were brought out of a storm or he has showed you how to manage it. Absolutely. Let me see. You said something else, Ty. He showed you how to manage it. Absolutely. It is praying through faith. It is trusting him. It is studying his word. It is all of that. The power, it shows up in that sense of peace. That thing that just comes over me, like I said earlier, I don't even know what it is. You can't even verbalize it, y'all. It doesn't have words, actually, but it is a sense of peace that's so amazing. Whether you were brought out of the storm or he has showed you how to manage it, it is all him, but you got to go touch. A touch will do. Yolanda says, you know, dealing with my son, it is hard. It is. It is. I am going through the storm. So right now, Yolanda, you're in the midst of the storm. You're in the midst of the storm. So you're not on the other side, but you're in it. And if you're touching the hem of his garment, like Ty just said, it doesn't mean that at this very moment you are released from it, but he will always provide you what you need inside of a storm to make it through it, to get to the other side. So that becomes your testimony to tell somebody else about the power of Jesus and his saving grace, that he can heal you. Prayer is absolutely an important place to touch him, but we got to read his word, because that is how he talks to us. That is how he tells us what it is he wants us to know. You know, I was saying earlier, those moments when something just comes all over me and I don't even have words for it, but it usually is accompanied right after, at some point after I've read a portion of his word and he has said something to me from that word that I needed to hear for whatever reason. For whatever reason. And I usually will say a prayer, just Lord, just empty me out, because I want to be filled with what you have for me. Empty me, make me an empty vessel so that I can receive what you have for me. That allows me to be in greater connection, to be able to touch a whole lot more and a whole lot closer. But you got to read his word. You have to show up where his worship house is. You have to say the prayers and get on your knees on a regular basis. It's not every now and then, family. I'm talking about creating a constant religious, not religious just in the sense that that I'm praying, but religion in the sense that I do this over and over. It is consistent pattern and system of connection and ability to touch Jesus in a way that only you can do, because nobody else can do that for you. When I said earlier, the young lady with the issue of blood, she went to a whole bunch of folks to touch them, for them to heal her, but none of them could do it. And it wasn't until she seek the hem, just the hem of Jesus, that she was able to be healed. And so what I want you to be encouraged tonight is that even though other people might assist you along your way, I'm not saying that people can't be helpful. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is they are not your end all. Perhaps the Lord may send somebody to assist you, but you got to seek him first before he can send the one that he has sent to you to be of assistance to you. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to seek him first on a regular basis. I'm talking about first thing in the morning. I'm talking about before you go to bed. I'm talking about while you drive in the car. I'm talking about while you sitting waiting in line. I'm talking about all the time. A touch will do. It's an amazing touch, y'all. The same one who rose this baby up off her bed and told her to go eat is the same one who can heal us from every problem. Yolanda, whatever storm you're going through with your son, it is the same Jesus that healed this young lady, got her off her bed, her deathbed, that can heal you in your situation. But you got to be sure that you're looking for it in the right way. It may not be a complete dismissal of the storm, but he will always provide a way. You know, they talk about that hurricane and a tornado. In the middle of it is where there's the most peace. And I believe that's where the Lord is. He's in the middle of the whole thing. That's where the peace is. So you stick close to the middle and you touch him inside the middle, because that's where he shows up. He's in the middle of all things, because all things work together for good for those who love the Lord, right? You got to be in the middle of that whole thing with him in order for you to reap the benefits of what he has to offer. I'm just saying, I was very encouraged by this whole thought. I really was. We cannot go into a new year if we do not take him with us. It's absolutely impossible for us to meet all the things that we need to meet, do all the things that we need to do if we do not have him. Hello, Dr. Shana. Oh, this is Gennard. Hi. I know I'm on point when I ask God for guidance for every decision I make, big or small. Absolutely. The little ones and the big ones. Even as Lord, which way do I turn? Which street should I take? You could ask him for everything. I believe, Gennard, like what you just said, we should ask him for every single decision we make. What should I do? Whether it's a work-related decision, a family decision, a financial decision, ask him for it all. If we don't ask him, then that means we think we know. And we don't know nothing, y'all. When I tell you we are insufficient and we don't know anything, we don't know nothing. Hey, Charlotte, thanks for joining. We don't know nothing. We have got to seek his face on a regular basis, on a regular basis. I just get majorly excited when I think about the fact that all we have to do is just touch him, y'all. Touch the hem of his garment. Get close to him. I've told you before that his word is how he talks to us, but we talk to him through our prayers, and we have got to make a habit of this on a regular basis. I promise you, if you make a habit on a regular basis, you will begin to see changes. But here's the thing, you got to do what he said the way he said it. He wrote the word. He has not changed his mind. The things he said don't do, don't do. What he said do, go do. It's real simple. I think we complicate the whole issue. We make it hard. He doesn't. It's very simple. It's very black and white. It's very clear. We create a whole other language because we want to make it what we want, and we can't do that, family. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to create an opportunity that you can touch him at all times. You don't want to be in a position where you are outside of him. Charlotte says, okay, yeah, we do. Absolutely. We absolutely do. You don't want to be in a situation where you can't touch him. Now that is when we're in a world of trouble. When I can't get close enough to him to touch him. Oh, that's a hard place to be, family. You don't want to be there. I'm encouraging you to continue to stay close to him, touch him on a regular basis. The reason for this whole season, we talk about his birth and all these things, and I'm gonna deal with some of that tomorrow. But the reality is, it's all about him. Every day is about him. This just happens to be the one day that the world decides to recognize. But it's always about him. Every single day is. Touch him on a regular basis. So your homework last night was identify the things, the lies you told yourself, and the truths you need to tell. Did you do your homework, family? I told you I'm a good professor. I'm always gonna check my homework. I'm always going to check it. Did y'all do that? Did you write down the lies you've been telling yourself and the truths you need to change that to? So y'all let me know that y'all did your homework if you were with me last night. Now your homework tonight is going to be, how can you create a systematic way to touch Jesus on a regular basis? A systematic way to touch Jesus on a regular basis. What will that look like for you? All right, Ty did it. Very good, Ty. Yes, Yolanda, very good. So that list you have is already the issues and problems you need to touch Jesus about on a regular basis. You already know what to talk to him about, but make a regular system and habit of touching him. That is your homework for tonight. How will you do that? On Christmas morning, how will you spend that day touching Jesus throughout the whole day? I want to encourage you to do that. I won't be with you until 9 p.m., but I want to hear from you when I see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, that you touched him all through your day. In many ways. We can speak his name to everybody who walks in the door. We can read, we can pray, we can do all those things. I want to hear how you did it. Do it on purpose. Don't make it an afterthought. Do it on purpose. Yes, family, a touch will do. The hymn in the hymn. Thank you, R.F. Tucker, for that word this evening. That was absolutely inspirational to me. I hope that it touched you in some way as well. And I'm encouraging you tonight to think about how you can continue to touch Jesus as you walk out of 2017, Lord willing, into 2018. You cannot go without them. That is the one piece of baggage that you better take with you. I'm telling you, if you leave that bag, you are in trouble. I promise you, you're in trouble. All right, family. That is the thought for tonight. I'm going to let you go. Get back to your family on Christmas Eve. I'm sure y'all got some shenanigans going on or some fun stuff happening. But just remember, your next transformation is only one decision away. Make it a great one. And you know what? I failed to mention. Last night I told you I was in the Christmas spirit. I'm giving away gifts, and I talked about I'm going to do this New You, Transformed You, a masterclass in January, because I'm so committed to your process and helping you walk into 2018 on a fire. So I've set that all up. It's on my website, so go to drshanadlewis.com. You will also get the Today I Decided to Transform My Life, the 3-week mini course as well. $30 investment, family. I couldn't give it away any less than that. That is an amazing opportunity. I'm hopeful that that gift will be one that continues to give. And if it's not for you, then get it for someone else and give it away as a present. Someone who you know who might need to have some assistance, some encouragement as a way to walk into 2018 on fire. We will meet 3 times in January on a masterclass on a web base. It'll be me, you, and a whole lot of our friends. We will sit together. We will talk 3 times times in January because I am encouraged to help you walk into your new year on fire. And I want to help you do that. You'll also have that course that'll be 3 weeks, and it's in information is in your inbox. And every week it gives you assignments and work to do. You can't start a new year any better than that. But visit my website, drshanadlewis.com, DRSHANADLewis.com, and it is a link right on the front page to the new year transformed you. I am rooting for you, family. I'm majorly on your team and want you to succeed as you close this year and as you start the next. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve. I can't wait to see you tomorrow and talk to you about how you have touched him over and over and over again on Christmas Day. Have a wonderful night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.